Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Motorcycle Rescuer, and this is Motorcycle Rescuer. So yes, welcome back. I have been so busy in life, so busy. My normal everyday work, extremely busy. My charity work, like seriously busy, and haven't found much time for the bikes actually, and that's a shame because the bike stuff for me has always been a therapeutic thing. It's about me being able to relax actually, and have some time to myself and problem solve and take my mind off other problems, because my mind is always a very busy one. It's always quite a it can be quite a negative and busy one. So this is my therapy. So it's really important that I find the time to always come down and do this, and I love sharing with you guys because I love the positivity. I very rarely get negative comments. I delete them quite quickly and I block whoever does it. But the site overall is just an extremely positive site. Me and my, God, what do I call you? Posse, gang, group? Me and my kind of closest supporters have our Facebook page that anybody is welcome to join. That's called Motorcycle Rescuer and J-Core Parts. So you can go on Facebook, write that in, Motorcycle Rescuer and J-Core Parts, and you'll see our site and you're welcome to join. What it's great for is when something goes wrong on your bike and you say, guys, this has happened, what's your faults? Because then you get kind of people's opinion on what you should look at. And I promise you there is no negativity within my group. I just don't allow it. So that's good. Right, tiny little drip here, quick, easy fix. I think it means taking off. I patched up that tube. Now I know that looks like gaffer tape, but I actually used Gorilla tape right on top over the Specialist Plumber tape, which is a stretchy tape, and it's designed to stretch tight and it can stop leaks and stuff. So I used that, and I think I just need to do the same here. I think actually if I just loosened the bracket and pulled it forward more, I think it would clamp a bit more, but I want to take it off on this occasion and check it, make sure it hasn't split or anything. So I think that's a quick, easy fix. In regards to these lines, I want to kind of just put a cable tie in the middle, just make sure they're all seated kind of like that. And then that's kind of it for this bike for me. It will be tank back on, fire it up. We know it's cooling, we know it's running and riding, we know it pulls your arms off. And that really is it. That's it for me. This bike can go home to its owner. Now it's not how can I explain it? I'm not overly pleased with the outcome of this bike, although I also am. I think a lot of the my issues are with the lack of support from Jake, and he knows that. You know, I've talked to Jake. And I think I was kind of dumped in the deep end on this one, because I really expected him to be here regularly and helping, which I think it would have changed his projects. Sometimes I lose heart in these long-term projects, guys, and I need that other person to kind of boost me, and that's what I was relying on. So I kind of can't see past that at the moment, but saying that, I see some stunning work. This paint that me and Nat have been using, this kind of stone chip bedliner paint, and then my actual paint. I know I didn't kind of appear to be overly pleased, but my God, I'm going to show you guys what this was at some point to what it is today. Same on here. Remember how many weeks I spent trying to do something to this cover? And I didn't want to use the truck bed liner because I didn't want to overuse it, but look at the difference. It just looks, it looks wicked. And then yeah, all of that. So it's very, very nearly ready. Very nearly ready. Now under here is my Harley. I need to go to Harley Davidson at some point. I need to chat to them. I want to chat to them about the exhaust. It's that, I don't know what it's called, Pro Series or Grenade. It's so bloody loud. I kind of want something in between, but I might have a little look at that over the next couple of days. I've got some baffle in there, as in some baffle wrap. I might pop out the baffle and see if I can tone it down a touch. We've got our little 100cc two-stroke under there. And Goldie kind of isn't sold. Technically, it's not Goldie. Technically, that's Goldie. But this is... this is our ER5. Me and Nat built this. It's our ER5. It's an upright bike. It's got the great handlebars. It drives beautifully. It's got a full stainless steel exhaust. And I think people underestimate the work that goes into these bikes. I don't think people think, hang on a minute, that's a £600 exhaust on that bike, and it should never rot because it's stainless steel. And you're never going to see that paintwork ever out there. And actually it takes a long bloody time to polish metal to a shine, and then wheels have been stripped and polished and painted in the middle. People just see an ER5, and that's really frustrating. I mean, this is up for 1300, and I wouldn't go a penny less. Actually, I'll use this bike before I'll go a penny less, because it's well worth it. Well worth it. It's a 2004 and it runs beautifully. I need to kind of start looking into that, stripping it for parts, or just getting it out there so that people know it's available. So there's kind of where I am. I think this getting MOT'd and going home is my next priority. MOT'd, home. I'm sure the guy will love it. I'm sure he won't realise how, you know, how long it's taken and the difficulties, but I'm sure he'll love the bike. And it rides beautifully. So, let's pop off. And sorry, Gary update, he passed his mod 1, we know that. So a big congratulations to Gary in the comments, guys. He's got his mod 2 coming up in September. And his bike is, we're going to do some pre-MOT checks, but it needs a horn, which we've got. That's it, so I might pull it out at some point and show you that. Let's get this pipe off. Let's see what we can do. Let's chop up the coolant after that, and then this should be a signed, sealed deal, technically. Now I've done that little, it didn't have any splits or anything. I think it just needed nipping on more, I hope, anyway. Anytime you've done that, you have to fill up the reservoir, you have to fill up the tank. And potentially down here as well. Let me have a look. Yes, that's empty. I know it's empty because the stuff I'm using is a luminous green. Oh, actually saying that, it's in there, but it's fairly diluted. Alright, cool, so that is full. I'll just top this up here, put it back together. There's no other way of doing it, guys. You put it back together, you throw the tank on, and you hope that it's done. That's kind of the sad truth with these things. You can even find that the carb kind of problems come back. I know it's crazy, but it's stuff that happens a week later with a bike like this. So let me get top that up. I'll top that up. I think I'll just throw the tank back on now. We're all connected up. I think I'll put the pods on as well for a bit of air restriction. A couple of you mentioned the AirPods last week. I didn't leave the AirPods off as a long-term solution, guys. I left them off while I was testing the bike. It's absolutely okay to do so. And of course I realised it wouldn't work fully at its best. Yet even so, it pulled my arms off. So we're looking good. Right, let me top that up. Cap back on. Tank on. Pods on. Fire it up. This could actually be the last test ride. Now, one thing I'm aware of is that I haven't got the cable drive for the speedo at the moment. Now, I think I've got it, but where is the question? It has quite a specific place down there. Oh, actually, it's just a screw on. I'll take that off and I'll see. I might have the equivalent on the ER5 over there, actually. So I'll have a little look and see what I've got. If I have a screw in for that, then I just need to connect up the power inside the light, and we'll have a working speedo as well. That will be pretty cool. So we've got the AirPods on. They're kind of done and secured as well, which is good. We will see if there's any fuel leakage, because it still drips out of them, so there's no concerns there, guys. What's next? Tank on. Tank on is next. Fire it up, warm it up, check for coolant leaks, drips, etc. If that goes well, side panels, seat, clock, power setup, and then, wow, kind of it really. Let's get this tank on, let's get it plumbed in, let's get it fired up, let's see how it sits. For me, it needs to sit for 10 minutes without leaking fuel or coolant or anything else, and then I'll consider it kind of done. Okay, so we've got tank on, we've got fuel on, we've got, sorry, I'm just trying to stabilise the legs here, guys. Yep, fuel on, tank on. What else? It's basically ready to start up. So let's start it up, let's see what happens, let's see how it lies. Yeah, keep your eye out for drips, coolant or fuel. Choke's not on. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to actually warm up. Is that a brake light? No, rear light. It's on, that's good. Front light's on, I can see it. It's right up in the air though, so I best we better tilt it down, eh? And then we're looking alright so far. Don't worry about the smoke on the wrap. That's where coolant was dripping, and it will just be burning off. That's not new coolant, that little drip there. That's where I topped it up earlier. So I can't see a new drip. But I would feel better if that smoke burnt off a touch. It's sounding better, the revs are going up, it's warming up. looks like it's going to blow up, but I assure you it's not. Okay, new coolant drip found. I wonder if tightening that off will seal that. Let me check. No was the answer. No. Let me pop off the tank and see what's going on. Bike's got very hot, everyone. You can't continue, you have to let it cool down 15-20 minutes. I think these two pipes are causing me the issue, I think. My hope is that it's not the thermostat reservoir. I don't think it is. There's no kind of obvious sign. No, I think it's the pipes. My hope is that my spare ER5 over there has two similar sized pipes that we can salvage, switch them over. But finding pipes for this bike this year isn't easy. It's very hard to find. I tried to find a full set, that was my ideal, and I actually just couldn't. So we have to work with what we've got with older bikes. But I need to find two tubes like that, roughly that size, from the salvage bike. So let's go and have a look. So this tube will work here, guys. It's the right diameter. It looks in great condition. I'll use this one. And second one, anywhere? What's this? Thermostat housing one. Funny enough, this thermostat housing looks almost identical. This one's a bit longer. It goes to the radiator, but we can chop it down. So I'm going to take this one first and just switch over the left pipe. I believe that's where the coolant leak is coming from. And then, if we have the same issues again, I'll create the second one. So this pipe first, here, cut it to the same size, chuck it on, hope, because that's the pipe on the other side that had the split that I repaired with plumber's tape. So technically that's the pipe that will almost definitely need work. So we're back to where we were. Try and wipe off as much as you can now so that you can see any new spills. It just makes sense. This pipe is a tiny bit bigger in diameter. I think it should be okay. My guess is it should be okay. We can put some pressure on. I've topped up the tank. So before I fire it up, I'm going to put some pressure on this pipe, squeeze it. But I need to put the lid on first. Like I said, I've topped it up. Lid on. Pressurize it, squeeze it, play with it, see what happens. See any drips, anything squeezing out, then obviously it's not going to work. That's kind of where we are at this stage.